Hello, I'm Louise Harris from Last Research and Editing and Christian Marketing Experts. And this week on The Last, we're going to be talking about book banning. So let's get started. There was a post in LinkedIn that was showing the Publishers Weekly did a whole issue about how book banning is wrong and shouldn't be allowed, and that we need to stop the process. So I, on my LinkedIn, on the post, I posted a comment that libraries should not be allowed to violate the 14th Amendment. Then I had to explain why the 14th Amendment applies to libraries. And this is how. The 14th Amendment applies the First Amendment to cities and states, or counties, or government entities, which a library is a government entity. So when a library just arbitrarily takes Dr. Seuss off its shelves because it's racist, not because they ran out of room on their shelves, but because it's racist, then the library is violating the 14th Amendment, which in actuality is violating the First Amendment, because the First Amendment guarantees free speech, even if the speech offends somebody. That's what is so important about this country. We are allowed to offend our government officials. We are allowed to offend public figures. We are allowed to criticize sports people and journalists and other politicians and people who are in the limelight. We have it guaranteed in our Constitution that we can say things about those people. We can write books, and those books can say whatever that we want. When we start deciding as a government what is the right message and what isn't the right message, then we move down a rabbit hole of socialism, but more communism or dictatorship, really. And I don't want our country to give up our rights and become a dictatorship. So whenever you see that a library takes something off the shelf because it offends a group, but it doesn't offend, you have to worry, because yes, we don't want to offend people, but we also want to keep our ability to disagree with other people. We want to be able to think what we want to think. And there's a lot of parallels in what's happening now in government to the book 1984 by George Orwell. And it's a very scary parallel that it's starting to come true. So you need to fight for your rights. I go on this tangent at least every few weeks or so, that we must protect our constitutional rights to free speech, free press, free fair trials, Fifth Amendment where we don't have to say anything that'll incriminate us, and a freedom of religion, and freedom to walk down the street and just do what we want to do instead of being forced to go into a job the government forces on us, or we have to not be allowed after hours because there's a curfew or whatever, or we have to ration our water because there's not enough for everybody, or we have rent control. Rent control is very bad for the economy. Price controls are very bad for the economy. And Kamala Harris is proposing both of those things. They're very bad. We can't let the government become a dictatorship. In other news, and I talked about this the first week, now it's week 3 in football, but Week 2, there was another incident where the refs are obviously trying to let Kansas City have its three-peat. There was the last play of the game was a defensive holding call. They were allowed to kick the field goal and win the game. So the refs are doing the refs are trying to make sure that Kansas City gets its three-peat, and we might as well not even play any other games because it's already decided by the betting people and by the refs and by the other team that Kansas City is the winner of the third Super Bowl. Thank you for watching. If you are watching but have not subscribed, please do. It does actually help build brand awareness and my ranking on YouTube. If you are subscribed and you're watching, thank you for that too. I appreciate all of you who have subscribed. It does help. And I hope you get some tips out of it. Please visit my website, www.lastresearchandediting.com, www.christianmarketingexperts.com, www.amazon.com/author/Louise Harris, and buy some books. Christmas is coming. Books make good gifts. And as always, don't worry, be happy.